Life Track with Chuck Swindoll is a presentation of Insight for Living Canada.
If there is nothing but nothing under the sun, our only hope must be above it. You go that far with me? If there's nothing but nothing under the sun, then something must be beyond it. Wonder if T.S. Eliot wasn't onto that. Endless invention, endless experiment brings knowledge of motion, but not of stillness. Knowledge of speech, but not of silence. Knowledge of words, and ignorance of the word. All our knowledge brings us nearer to our ignorance. All our ignorance brings us nearer to death, but nearness to death, no nearer to God. Where is the life we have lost in living? Second thought. If a man who had everything, investigated everything visible, if a man who had everything, investigated everything visible, then the one thing needed must be invisible. You ready to agree with that? A man who had everything, investigated everything visible, then and there was no satisfaction, then apparently the satisfaction will come only in that which is invisible. Do you realize how few people really hear the inaudible? How few really see the invisible? An Indian was walking in downtown New York City alongside a friend who was a citizen of the city, right there in Manhattan. And the Indian held onto his friend's arm and says, "Wait, I hear a cricket." And his friend said, "Come on, cricket? Man, this is downtown." He says, I really do. He says, "It's impossible. You can't hear a cricket." Taxis going by, people screaming at each other, brakes screeching, both sides of the sidewalk filled with people, cash registers screaming on the inside, and folks yelling on the outside. There's no cricket. He says, "Wait a minute." So he leaves his friend, walks down the end of the block, goes across, looks around, can't find it, goes across the street, and there in a large cement planter where there's a tree planted, he digs into the mulch and he finds a cricket. He says, "See?" His friend walks across the street and says, "How in the world could it be that you're a cricket in the middle of all of this?" And he said, "Well, my ears are different from yours. It simply depends on what you're listening to. Here, let me show you." And he reaches in his pocket and he pulls out a handful of change, a couple of quarters and 3 or 4 nickels and dimes and some pennies. And he says, "Now watch." Held it out about waist high and dropped it. And every head within a block turned around and looked in the direction of the Indian. It all depends on what you're listening for. We don't have enough crickets in our heads. We don't listen for them. You have perhaps spent all of your life searching for a handful of change. And you have missed the real sound of life and meaning.
As king, Solomon had the luxury of searching for the meaning of life by immersing himself in every pleasure the world had to offer. This might seem like an exciting adventure, but Solomon discovered just the opposite. When he looked for significance outside of God's purposes, he found only sorrow. This is Steve Johnson of Insight for Living Canada. Listen to more of Chuck Swindoll's Life Track messages at lifetrack.ca. Life Track, where life and truth meet.
The preceding Life Track presentation was brought to you by Insight for Living Canada. The original message, Chasing the Wind, was copyrighted in 1983, and this Life Track sound recording was copyrighted in 2014. by Charles R. Swindoll Incorporated. All rights are reserved worldwide.